Hello everybody, this is Purge, and I'm bringing you guys a Purgecast of Pub. I think that's what I'm doing. Yeah, let's do a pubcast. We're looking over a replay of a game that was submitted by a viewer. I don't remember where they submitted, but Sydney, I guess, is her name. Sydney submitted the replay, and this is a low 2K MMR game apparently, and it has. Oh, cool! Wow, that's really nice. Really useful. They actually showed me where the pauses end and stuff like that. Really cool. Sydney, you did a great job. Really nice email. It's like really has like all the facts about the game and like good things and like the MMR range. It's beautiful. What a way to submit. So I guess if you guys do want to submit pubcasts, I only cast one like every month or two, but include things like MMR range and how long the game is. Just stuff like that is really useful. Let's jump forward a little bit here. So what I do with these is I just want to talk about basics and mistakes that the players are making in item build and inefficiencies, and talk about how they could play their heroes better and skill build mistakes and just like a lot of basic stuff that hopefully, if you guys are brand new, you can take with you into your pub games and you can look for them and you can try to play those heroes a little bit more correctly than they're played here, hopefully. Fingers crossed. We're going to jump forward again. No need to watch the entire game.
30 seconds
okay,
to battle.
so first things first. The camera is too fast. Settings. That's better. Okay, cool. So, first things first. Let's take a look at some item and skill builds. I guess we can do the players really quick. Tasma is playing Tide Hunter. God, it sounds so loud to me. I don't know if that's loud to you or not.
The
Using
battle
my
begins.
awesome Nixus Zephyr earbuds. They have audio adjustment on the cord. It's so nice. It's like analog too. You like adjust it with a slider. God, I love these things. Alright, I'm sorry to be so corporate and stuff, but I like genuinely really like these earphones, and they're really cool. They say Zephyr on them. I know it's not focusing properly because like my face is in the way. What if I like whatever. Anyways, they're awesome. I like them. Okay, you can buy them online. Go to Newegg or Amazon or something. Okay, first things first. Got a Tide off lane. He hasn't spent his gold. I'm not a huge fan of this. It looks like he actually did buy support items, I think. No, and we actually something in the range wasn't picked yet, but if you're doing Tide off lane, I really recommend going like boots first, just to give yourself the movement speed advantage. It's good to have regen like this, but you can do it by you can go boots with a tango, and you can also get a clarity potion on top of that, I believe. And it's not that bad to do this. You can get last hits with Anchor Smash, and you shouldn't be taking this many right clicks, to be honest. Void shouldn't be skilling any abilities until he gets to lane generally. Backtrack first is probably the worst one you can get, I would say, out of the three. I guess that's second worst. Going time lock level 1 is sometimes a bit bad, but he's actually last hitting okay. I do like his item builds. These are okay. Lots of regen. He's got a Quelling Blade because he doesn't feel extremely confident with his last hitting. I think this is fine. If you're playing a safe lane farmer and you don't feel comfortable about your last hitting, then just go for this. It's going to be absolutely okay. Almost a kill here. Crystal Maiden skill build is just fine. I don't like a double gauntlet pickup at the start of the game. This is way too expensive. 2 gauntlets cost about 300 gold, and what she should be buying is things like Observer Wards. She should be buying Sentry Wards to de-ward pulls like this. That must be where his other money went. Maybe it was in wards. I don't know who purchased this originally. Don't know. Maybe he bought the wards at the start. Now he buys the Stout Shield. This is a big waste as a Tide Hunter in my opinion. If you go the skill build, it's not a waste, so he's doing okay in that sense. But the way that Kraken Shell works is, let's say you have 2 levels of, or let's say you have 1 level of Kraken Shell. It blocks 10 damage for every time that somebody hits you. If you have a Stout Shield and your Stout Shield procs, which is 60% of the time, then your Stout Shield will block for 20 damage. Okay, blue's finally here, guys. If your Stout Shield doesn't proc, then Kraken Shell will block the 10 damage. But as soon as you get 2 levels in Kraken Shell, no matter how you get hit, Kraken Shell is always going to block at least as much as the Stout Shield will, unless you upgrade it to a Vanguard. So basically, Kraken Shell eventually makes the Stout Shield entirely redundant. So it's not worth purchasing a Stout Shield usually, because it really only works until you get 2 levels of Kraken Shell, and right now Tide Hunters very commonly will be getting 2 levels of Kraken Shell, at least as an offlane Tide. If you're playing a support Tide, you can definitely get away with just one with a Stout Shield in the early game, but the problem is that Stout Shield, again, is pretty expensive in the early game, so supports shouldn't be able to afford expensive items. 250 for an item in the early game is a lot for a support hero. Support heroes should usually have things like boots and things, and they won't be able to afford purchasing that in most cases. So generally don't purchase that if you can help it. So he's going to pull now. If you do have a sentry ward, the best place to place it is right here. You have to put it like on the left side of this tree. If you put it right here, it will block. So make sure you put it as left as possible right next to this tree, and it'll get an area kind of similar to like, it'll kind of catch like, maybe not that much, but it'll catch like this. So it'll catch most of the common spots. This spot is really common. Anywhere in here is very common. This spot is kind of common. It'll catch that spot as well. And it will also catch this spot right here. So if you do want to be tricky, sometimes you can block by placing it like right here, and sometimes this ward won't catch it if you place it like right here. I think you can place it actually right anywhere here, and it'll block as well. I'm not entirely sure. I'd have to double check, but those spots are all pretty good as well. Other than that, yeah, sentries are really important. You could add sentries, you could have a smoke, you could gank with it. Obviously at this skill level, ganking is not that important, but having the opportunity to deward your camp is really important if you're playing a support hero. Don't go double gauntlet. If you do really want to buy stats, get Ironwood branches. This is a really simple efficiency thing. You get 3 strength points from a gauntlet. This costs 150 gold. The other way you can get 3 strength is by buying 3 Ironwood branches, and it costs the same price, except you also get 3 agility and you get 3 intelligence. And intelligence is really important on heroes like Crystal Maiden, because you want to increase the amount of mana pool that you have. Your mana pool should be higher because, or your intelligence level should be higher, because if you increase your intelligence level, you do more damage because you're an intelligence-based hero. That's really good, and it also gives you more mana pool. Every point of intelligence gives you 13 mana, so by increasing your mana pool by 3 int, or by increasing your int by 3, you're increasing your mana pool by 39, which is quite a bit actually. That could be, it's like, what, a fifth of your mana pool or something? That's pretty good. It's a good chance to have enough mana to cast another spell. So 3 Ironwood branches instead of a gauntlet is usually what you'll want to grab in the early game. Although double gauntlet does build into an urn, so maybe he's planning to build an urn. If he builds an urn out of this, then this is going to make sense. If he does not end up building an urn out of it, I'm going to be quite confused. So
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
This item, I don't know who the hell Corey is, but
missing top.
Corey with a K. Not sure who that is. Alright, so let's check out some other lanes. I think I've talked enough about the top lane as I look to talk about more stuff. Skill build's okay. I guess he's going Midas or something. I'm not entirely sure. Mid lane, got a Bloodseeker who went... this is the right skill build. I think this is the best skill build. I would maybe put 2 points into Bloodbath if you're having harass bump, especially against a Darkseer, actually. I think this is a good lane to go for 2 Bloodbath because you want to get more health regen per unit, but you usually just leave this at 1 or 2 because the hero kill percentage is not really what you're banking on. In the early game, you're mostly banking on the unit kill or the amount of health that you heal per creep that you kill. So it's generally better to get multiple levels of this, or only like 1 or 2 levels of this. Thirst is really your best skill in the early game as Bloodseeker, and that's... what is this set? What a weird thing. This guy really likes Bloodseeker. Wow, this guy really likes Bloodseeker. Holy crap, dude. This guy plays a lot of Bloodseeker. Alright, this guy literally only plays Bloodseeker. Okay, anyways, Thirst gives you bonus damage now. That's really big. Before, Bloodseeker's damage was basically Rupture, Blood Rage, and right-clicking, but now your right-clicking actually is pretty significant from the Thirst. If somebody's low, you get 35 bonus damage at the 4th level, so maxing this skill out first is really important. Also, the global visibility on heroes that are low on HP is so nice for your team. It really helps a lot. It makes it a lot easier to dive and juke and stuff like that, juke against opponents, because you should know where they are if they're low HP. So Thirst is a really good skill to have. The bonus 35 damage can't be underestimated. And in fact, in a lot of ways, oh, that's a nice silence. What a silence. I don't think he's going to win this fight. Yeah, he's not going to. It's actually a pretty hard kill to get. He's going to chase him down, but he just can't trade hits with him, I don't think. Darkseer is actually pretty good in this lane, I must say. This is actually a really good lane for Darkseer. There's a lot of heroes that Bloodseeker out lanes, but I think Darkseer is actually not one of them. So Boom, 82 HP from creep. So he's gonna be just fine though. Still really fast. Somebody's low. Who's low? Dark's here? How is he still fast? Oh, I need to be looking at rating heroes. I think it's oh, it's a Tidehunter. Okay. Ooh, is he going for this? He needs Rupture to get kills. Rupture is actually a pretty bad skill, level 1. It only does 150 pure damage, and it also, the move damage is really bad. Basically the way it works, it's 20%. The move damage doubles. If you actually have a lot of HP and you have some allies around, you can just kind of run away from Rupture damage. It's really not that bad. So, I don't know, thus far the Bloodseeker's been playing fine. I think his skill build is perfect. His item builds are fine. I think Treads is maybe better than Phase now, because Thirst does damage, which means Treads leverages that damage a lot better than Phase Boots would. So, in a lot of ways, I think Treads is better now. I haven't actually played Bloodseeker very much since his buffs, but he's actually one of my most winningest heroes, but I like never play him for some reason. Pugna is going the correct skill build. I don't like dual laning Pugna. I think he's much better in a solo lane, but he works like this. He's got Arcane Boots, Magic Stick, Gauntlet. I think these items are completely fine. He's been getting last hits. That's good. Clink's skill build is all good. His item build is great. Wand with an Aquila is... the Wand is maybe a bit wasted, especially the heroes that they're laning against. They're against an Omni Knight and a Sniper. Sniper rarely casts. If he does get shrapnel, he'll cast. Omni Knight sometimes casts, but it's really not worth it for Clinks to buy a wand this early unless you're against something like that you're expecting to kill you. If you want to buy a magic stick, you can. It's only 200 gold and it gives about 60% of the same usefulness that a magic wand does. But it's not worth it on most carries to upgrade to a magic wand unless you're actually worried about dying. And a Clinks against an Omni Knight and a Sniper is not going to die, I don't think. And there's not enough cast to guarantee or to justify the purchase of a wand. So I think this wand purchase is inefficient. Aquila is good, but I think the wand purchase is inefficient, and he shouldn't have bothered with this. So hopefully he'll use his ulti on some creeps here, and he can go around with it and clear these neutral creeps out. This does increase his damage by about 40 or 50 or something like that. It's like Bloodseeker dies.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Oh, this guy's gonna die. Ooh, that was close.
Dire's structures are fortified.
Skill build on Tide is good. He's going for an Arcane Boots first. I think the skill build is fine. If you play support, sometimes it's better to max Gush first than Anchor Smash, but it's kind of up to you what you want to do with
Dire's middle tower
it. The scaling on Gush is actually a really good level 1 spell. It does 110 damage for 1 skill point. And the slow is the same at all levels. The only difference is damage and armor reduction. It's not the best level 4 nuke, to be honest. But it's a pretty good skill. Anchor Smash scales really well. Gets the cooldown
Dire's
low.
middle tower
Does cost more mana, but it's all around pretty good.
You can run, but you can't
Pugna ended up dying. Omni Knight's going for both Arcane Boots and a Soul Ring. I don't like this choice. I think you should just get one or the other. Getting both, I think is... Oops, sorry about that. Getting both is a little redundant, I think.
double damage.
Pugna's going to DC. I believe he does come back. Or somebody plays for him for the rest of the game. Treads with a belt. What is this going to build? I have no idea. Wow, people are being nice. Wow. What is this? A weird game. He misses Anchor Smash. You can actually Ancient pretty well. He's actually stacking and stuff. This is not bad. The only downside is just like completely out of mana now. There's only so much jungling you can do Tide. Jeez, stun has been used.
Radiant's middle tower
Looks like
is
a
under
dead
attack.
CM, boys. Skill build's okay. She did end up buying an urn. Oh, he searched the wrong person. What a mistake. Oh, they're gonna get him. Okay. Well, that worked out just fine. 3 levels of Surge, Iron Shells, Arcane Boots, all this good stuff. Magic Wand. I think Magic Wand on Alchemist is a bit fairer because this hero is somebody
Dire's
that
top tower
really needs to
is under
survive the
attack.
burst. Like, when you use Chemical Rage, it gives you a lot of HP regen per second. And having an ability, like, let's say, like, essentially, if you're playing a hero like this, you just need to kind of tank. You need to stay alive and not die. And if you can survive the initial burst, then you can always just pop. You can end up regenning and surviving. It's kind of awkward to say, but I didn't say that very well. You just need to survive the initial burst, and a wand will help you do that because you can burst heal through the burst damage. And if you can do that, then your ulti will kick in, and that 50 HP per second should keep you alive. So that's what Alchemist should aim to do, at least in the semi-early game. He can always run around and gank as well, but Bloodseeker's TP ganking. Got a Midas on board. This is pretty good. His item build is fine. I'm actually really surprised. I thought this MMR, if I was watching this game, I would have thought that the MMR was a lot lower. or a lot higher is what I mean, because you have to remember that the MMR ranges between like 2,000 and 4,000, the skill levels are not that massively different because it's very much a bell curve. So in terms of the bell curve, there's a lot of players in the middle that are approximately as good as each other. So leveling up and getting better between the 2,000 and 4,000 range is not extremely difficult if you're good at learning things. So I would have picked this game for a little higher in terms of MMR. They're really not that bad. Their skill and item builds are, well, he's obviously throwing his stun way too early, very consistently, but like look at this, like he doesn't give a shit about Rupture. Look how little damage he's actually taking. He could totally chase this and it would be just fine. He easily could have chased after this. So he's getting so much reach. We're gonna see a Chronosphere to save him, but what a bro. Alright, he's definitely gonna stun himself. Not good for them. Clinks goes Treads. I'm not a huge fan of this. I think it's a little better usually to go greedy and just try to get... Oops, that's an Omni Knight. He can't kill him though. He actually can't kill any of the Radiant heroes except for the Sniper. He can kill Sniper, but that's about it.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Maybe Alchemist when Alk doesn't have his ulti, but Alk's got his ulti, so... Like, Clinks should just be farming right now and be picking up his items. He could be farming his Orchid. And once he gets his Orchid, he can kill a lot more heroes. Namely, he could kill the Omni Knight. He could kill Alchemist. There's the right clicks, but there's the ulti, so he's going to be just fine. It's just wasting a lot of time. Try not to be inefficient with your time like this. Like, it's really important that you end up spending your time efficiently. And if you're not spending your time efficiently, then you're just not getting any items. Like, this guy's been sitting mid for like 30-40 seconds now. And he could have been farming creeps this entire time and getting ahead, but instead he ran around and wasted a lot of time. It's like one of the biggest things that new players waste and mess up on is that they're inefficient. And if you look at the CS, you can kind of see this reflected. Like Faceless Void, for example, actually has a lot of CS, but compared to what you should be at, you should be about 50 at 10 minutes, and they're about 50 about 15 minutes, and most of these heroes don't have that. And a lot of that is because they're all farming. Not very many of them are actually dedicated supports. And for example, Crystal Maiden's supporting. Omni Knight's got quite a few CS, probably more than he should have, but they're not really dedicated supports this game, and this is part of the reason that their last hits are more spread and not as peaked in certain areas. But you should spend a lot more time farming, at least if you're being inefficient. Like Clinks ran mid, he saw 3 heroes, and what he should have done is he should have said, there's 3 heroes, I'm not going to get a kill, I need to leave and go back and farm. And he should have recognized that a lot faster. It's kind of funny. He blood rages him for bonus damage, but now he can use Searing Arrows. Ooh, this is going to be a good stun. Ooh, that's a good stun. Oh, that looks like a dead Bloodseeker. That's really weird. Oh, it's a D. Okay, he cast the micro. Just the ulti. He actually got a little unlucky there, I think. That is a dead Crystal Maiden.
Your life's a flash in the pan.
Wow. These fights are actually pretty close. I'm a little surprised.
You're melting. You're melting.
That was the self. Well, so yeah, time efficiency is really, really important. Something that they haven't been doing. This is Maelstrom. Interesting choice. Not bad. I've played a little bit of Alchemist recently, and I really feel like you gotta max out these skills first. Like, his hero is so bad if he doesn't have like a high level stun and acid spray, and like Goblin's Greed is great and all if you're just sitting there and nobody is contesting you, but the skill points into this ability are just so greedy. It really is. Goblin's Greed is the best way to describe it. It's just so much harder now to just guarantee free farm. It's a lot harder to contest a lot of the offlaners right now, so it's important that you can contribute to your lane. So I think the skill build is actually really good and probably ideal. You can always catch up later, and yeah, the hero has horrible stat gain. It's one of the worst stat gains in the game. So his stat gain is really bad, but you can catch up really fast using items later by getting kills and things like that. We're gonna lose Tide on the top lane, but alright. Common mistake from the Crystal Maiden buying boots is really important. You got to pick up your boots. You shouldn't upgrade any items like this. Basically, you have to get boots before you get a basic component upgrade. There's never any item that you should be upgrading as a support before you get boots of speed. you can buy stuff like Magic Stick before you get boots, and you can buy TP scrolls and things like that, but and support items like wards. But it's just so important you get boots. And what she should be doing right now, instead of coming mid like this, is stand next to Bloodseeker. She should go to one of these jungle camps, and she should use Frostbite on the big creeps. And what that does is Frostbite lasts for like, I don't know, 10 seconds on creeps, basically. And she can go in the jungle camp and she can kill this camp. This creep is worth 100, this one's worth like 35, and this little one's worth like 10. And she could get about 150 gold from this, and that's 150 gold closer to boots. And this is time inefficiency. This is the same thing that we talked about for the Clinks. She went somewhere, or the Clinks went somewhere, and he didn't accomplish anything. And the Crystal Main's doing exactly the same thing right now. She needs to be in the jungle. She doesn't know what to do, so she's just following the Bloodseeker. But instead, she'd be getting her farm up in the jungle. She could get levels from this. She could get farm. She could get boots. And instead, she's just kind of following around the Bloodseeker and trying to be useful. But she's actually wasting so much potential right now. So, see a little nukage on the dark, so he's going to try to get a kill. Oh, wow. He actually died. I'm really surprised, but that was level 2 rupture, that's why. So Crystal Maiden is going to barely survive. 4 levels in Arcane Aura. I think this is overkill here. If we look at her team, there are some heroes on her team that actually do need mana regen. Bloodseeker is going to be happy about the Arcane Aura because sometimes he is lacking mana a little. Bloodseeker is happy to get the aura. Pugna is happy to get the aura. Faceless Void's happy to get the aura. Clinks is happy with the aura, but none of these heroes really need the aura other than maybe Pugna. They're happy with the trickle, so I think CM went a little too hard into Arcane Aura this game. She would have been better off getting like probably 2 levels maximum and then maxing out her other 2 skills, because now she's not really contributing very much in terms of damage. She definitely could have done a lot more damage this game with a couple skill points. This looks pretty bad for Pugna here. Maybe not. We'll walk in, get some right clicks. I don't think he will die.
Dire's bottom tower has fallen. Dire's middle tower is under attack.
The never reaches.
He should have liked Rainbow a long time ago. Or Blast. What a stun. Oh shit, she's got boots. Oh, sure. Okay, let's dark suit. Just not fail it. Alright, and then when your Goblin's Greed runs out, that's when you die, so. It's a dead hero, guys.
Don't put me out of my
So efficiency is really important, because like in the little downtime that people wasted, like Clinks could be closer to his Orchid, and he's really not very close at all. Like, maybe he would have had more damage, and maybe he would have been able to kill somebody else. Like it really impacts the game in large ways, because that efficiency, Crystal Maiden would have had an extra, maybe she would have had boots to fight before, and she hasn't actually died that much, and she's been doing relatively okay. But what if she had an extra 150 HP, or what if she had enough for a wand, and maybe she could have used that wand that she would have farmed if she was more efficient to give her mana, and with that extra mana she could use an extra spell, which maybe would have saved Pugna, and then Pugna would have died 1 less times, and then Pugna would have had more farm as a result, and then Pugna would have been able to survive some other time. And it just like all snowballs. Efficiency is so important if you're playing a support hero. So I have fiber. This is a fairly American game. Wow. The Dire team actually unpaused the game based on their ally being gone. What a bunch of nice dudes. So, Sniper's got a lot of kills. He's got decent farm. He's going for a Yasha next. I do like movement speed on this hero. It's really useful because the hero kind of suffers from basically positioning. He's pretty much countered by heroes that can dive and jump on him. So heroes like Faceless Void, Clinks, Bloodseeker are all pretty good against Sniper. So if you increase his movement speed, it helps counteract his lack of mobility. That like if somebody wants to kill you, they basically just do it. Like look at this. If he wants to kill you, they just do it. A bit of a mistake by Omni Knight. He healed the Tidehunter instead of the Sniper. But that's a perfect point essentially. If he chrono screws you, or if he gets close to you, you're gonna die. Actually, I should probably slow this down.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Regular speed game.
Dire's middle tower.
This lineup is actually pretty good. Iron Shell on a lot of these heroes is good. With Purification, it's pretty good stuff.
Radiant's bottom tower has fallen. Dire's middle tower
It's going
has fallen.
Maelstrom first. That's okay, I think. With their lineup, I think this is okay. So you can put the buff on somebody. I actually really like how this Alchemist is playing this game. I think he's doing a really nice job. It's a really hopeful kill here. Her ulti is good, but it's not that good. Killing tanky heroes is not going to happen. If somebody has like 600 or less HP, you can maybe get him, but that's about it here. See how Bloodseeker's doing. He went Basher into Crystallis. This build sucks. Basher is a in some ways useful item, but it's not the first item you get on a Bloodseeker. It does give you HP, which is good, and it gives you damage, but I think this hero needs maybe more utility than that. Sometimes things like Force Staffs are the way to go. Is he actually going to kill this in time? He is.
Radiant's bottom tower has fallen.
I mean, the Basher is good because it does prevent people from teleporting, and that's one escape from Rupture, but I think he'd better off buying like a Drum or maybe a Shadow Blade or a Force Staff, maybe, or an Urn, something that gives you damage potential. Bloodseeker is a pretty weird hero. His item builds are definitely unusual, but I'm not a huge fan of the Basher. I'm not sold on it. I don't think it's necessarily the right way to go. I do like that this guy's using Blood Rage a lot to farm, because it does increase your damage by a lot. You get 120% damage on this first number, so you're getting like over 100 damage just to right click, and it is actually increasing his farming rate a lot. And luckily for him, he's got huge mana regen from Arcane Aura, so he can actually cast this on himself a lot, and he's going to get by just fine. But Crystallis, I'm not sure if I like that. I guess it's kind of good because he is getting a big damage boost from Thirst as well as Blood Rage, but I'm just not sold on it. I don't know. I'm not entirely sure. I build Bloodseeker kind of weird. I get like Phase Boots and Urn, and then I go for like Blade Mail or something to reflect damage that way, but he's a weird hero. Butterfly is really good on him actually, because it increases your base stat a lot, so when you Blood Rage yourself, you get an extra like 35 damage or something like that from Blood Rage, just because you have a Butterfly, and since you're up close and personal, you kind of need BKB a lot on this hero actually. Is another item build that's really good for him. So BKB is pretty good, tanky items are pretty good, things like that. Force Staff can sometimes be good because you can Force Staff somebody that's Ruptured. It's really bad when your Rupture is level 1, but when your Rupture is level 2 or 3, it's actually pretty good. It's a pretty good damage. This Tide Hunter wants to party. Oh, the King still has 2 levels of Time Walk. That's I don't think that's a mistake. He's gonna die. Oh! Oh, okay. This is not gonna end well for Void, I don't think. Yep, that's okay. He should have gone. Alright, they're both actually equally tanky. I guess Omniate would have been a little easier to kill. Oh, this Tide Hunter is actually playing pretty well.
You've got guts.
Yeah. How's Pugna doing? It's going straight Ags. Not sure if I agree with this. Alchemist again.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
I'm grateful to you.
Got this. Look at this, he's just regenning so much. Oh man, he's hitting hard. Holy crap. Well, maybe his skill build's legit, guys. He just crit him, I think. Just did so much damage with Blood Rage. That was like incredible. I was like, yeah, he's not gonna kill this guy. But it turns out when you only buy damage items, you actually get damage out of your hero. And he's gonna slowly walk into the fight. Actually, has to be a little careful about Sanjay actually. Ooh, he's got Sanjay and Asha procs. He is not gonna die. Almost so. Sanjay and Asha is kind of good, I think. Sniper.
Dire's
Trying
top
to
tower
proc him.
is
He's
under
not
attack.
getting it. No dust. Why is it people buying dust at this MR? That's actually really incredible. I'm really surprised actually. I'm so close to getting out of this bracket. Where's CM? CM should really have a. Oops. Oh god, slow down. Oh god. Oh god, slow down. Alright, there we go.
Dire's bottom tower is
Alright,
under
CM
attack.
should really buy a magic stick or something. And a TP scroll. That's what she needs. And again, don't max out your aura first. You may be like baited into this, be like, oh, I'm gonna give mana to all my allies, it'll be really useful. But you always have to remember that it's gonna make your damage really limited. It really limits your damage output. Like right now, her guaranteed damage output is like 360 magic damage. That's it. She gets 360 magic damage guaranteed. That's like one nuke for an average hero, so it like heavily limits her viability. If people aren't getting a lot of value out of this 4 points in aura, she's really not accomplishing much by putting all the points into it. It like makes her a pretty crap hero, honestly. That's one of the reasons that she's not played right now, is her mana pool has been nerfed into the ground. She doesn't do that much damage early. The aura is nice, but she's still really squishy and slow. So CM will definitely get some buffs in the future, I think. The hero is definitely pretty lacking in a lot of ways. Okay, I like this. I don't like maybe the choice of one, but this will be okay. Never mind. Not looking good. Stun. Alright, now this is a good CM ulti. She's still gonna die, but it was a good CM ulti. Right click him. Right clicks, you got this. Okay, good. Bloodseeker, clean this up. Alright, Bloodseeker's really gonna clean this up. Oh my god. This guy does a lot of damage, guys. What? Jesus. This guy actually right clicks really hard. Maybe this is the build, guys. Am I being shown the light? Probably not, because if they actually had good heroes, they would just chain stun him and he would die. But boy, did he cut through them like butter. Let's see if he finishes his Daedalus, I guess, is what he'll do. Maybe he'll go Butterfly now. I guess he's going straight Butterfly. Okay. Butterfly, like I said, really good Bloodseeker item. I think one time I played against a high-tiered Bloodseeker, and he went BKB into Butterfly, and it was really good. Because he could Blood Rage himself, and then right-click for an insane amount of damage, and he was very evasive, but he was magic immune, and that covers your two bases. You get magic immunity from the Black King bar, and then you also get evasiveness from physical damage. Look at this damage. It's like he has a rapier. Pretty good, actually. So I guess if you want to play Bloodseeker more like a carry, builds like these are probably a bit better. Go for crit and basher, I guess. I'm not a huge fan of the basher still, but really don't think he necessarily needs basher. You definitely don't need to buy movement speed items, though. Don't buy those. You should buy damage items or tank items or utility items. One of those two, I think, are the way to go. Got that illusion. Aghanims on Omni-Knight is actually pretty good. You might be, alright, I think the Aghanims on Omni-Knight in this game is really good because of the Void. And also Clinks in some ways. What Aghanims does is it makes your ultimate global. It works on towers, it works on your creeps, it works on your heroes, I believe. Definitely your heroes. Not sure about all your creeps globally, but it works on your towers for sure. Affects buildings, raised. Alright, so if you're in the right place, it like really saves your allies. It would have been great to have Aghanims there, because his team, he actually lost 2 teammates before that even started.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
It's like, why am I doing no damage? It's because the ulti was
Monster kill.
well, their team's just kind of wrecking now.
Dire's top tower has fallen.
So yeah, Aghanims would have been beautiful there. They could have kept the sniper alive. They could have kept it was the second hero that died, Tide alive, I think. But it didn't work out. Oh, he's got it now, actually. He really needed that fight because he was out of position. He was sitting like over here when that happened. And he wasn't able to Aghanims them. The only downside is that this cooldown is still ridiculously long, so it's kind of a lot of gold for an item, but it does increase the duration, I guess, up to 9 and 10 seconds. That's pretty good, actually. I actually think this Aghanims is pretty legit. But the reason it's so good this game is normally you can kind of accomplish the same goal by just having a blink or a force staff on Omni, because if you're out of position, you're not near your allies, you can position yourself correctly, right? But if they're chronosphered, and you have to worry about running into the chronosphere, what you can do instead is, let's say your team's fighting here, you can just sit over here as Omni-Knight, and you can say, oh, he's going to chronosphere, he chronos, you cast your ultimate, and then you walk into to your heal or something, or prepare the repel, or do whatever. So you can kind of accomplish your goals by still playing in a safe place. So I think the Aghanims is a really good choice in this case, and the other reason it's good against Clinks is that if Clinks actually gets his Orchid up, I mean, Clinks' gank should have been way earlier. He should have had this Orchid finished at like less than 20 minutes and then been terrorizing Omni-Knight and Sniper and all these heroes. But if Clinks decides to gank somebody now and Omni-Knight wants to save him, he can pop his ulti for it. It's maybe a bit of a waste because the cooldown is so ridiculously high at 150, but That's the biggest thing holding Omninet back from being useful with egg items, I think, is that if this ultimate was lower cooldown, maybe eggs would be abusable. I mean, not saying that Omniet's a bad hero, he's definitely still a good hero. He was played one game at TI, I think, and they stomped with him. So I think he has some select uses, but
Dire's
I'm not sure if,
tower is under attack.
if he's all the time useful, kind of a thing.
Dire's bottom tower has fallen.
See how things looks like another fight. Butterfly, Ogre Club. This is looking really
Radiant's
good for
top tower
Bloodseeker.
is under attack.
It's the Blood Rage, here comes the right click. That was not so good. That's an ulti. Unfortunately, didn't quite kill anybody, but it doesn't really matter because Bloodseeker just... They actually can't fight this Bloodseeker anymore. He just kind of like right-clicks people and they die. His HP is high enough as well. They're actually going to try. I don't think it's going to enough. He's going to get stunned. He's got evasion, so he won't die. And they actually don't do enough damage. There's like no way. And now he's got movement speed bonus because Tide is low. What he should have done is probably got the Alchemist low first. It doesn't matter. 3 shots. My god, dude. Holy crap. That was some damage. He hits really, really hard. Why is this number so high, guys? Because he has like 3 agility per level, I think. His damage is actually obscene. It really is. This makes me feel like Bloodseeker's overpowered right now. I'm not even gonna lie. Like, this guy's playing fine and the other team is not very good, but like, this really makes Bloodseeker seem overpowered. The amount of damage that he's doing in right clicks is insane. And the whole heal from heroes dying thing is pretty good. But it's not a good example because this game is not high MMR enough. Bloodseeker is an okay mid hero, but he's not amazing. And there's a lot of heroes that actually outlane him right now. Like Brewmaster is a lot better than Bloodseeker would be in a 1v1 matchup. Razor could easily beat Bloodseeker in a 1v1. So he's not really good for exploiting in certain matchups. There's a lot of heroes right now that are picked in top tier that would still wreck him. So he is going Sanjin Yasha now. I think it's okay at this point. I wouldn't buy it as the first item because it doesn't give you very much, but I think the Crystallis was maybe promising, I would say. The Crystallis is something you could probably say was useful because you're getting bonus damage from Thirst, so if you get like 70 damage here and then you crit on it, you're actually leveraging it a lot harder. You're getting like an extra bonus 150 or 115 or something. That part's kind of cool. Yasha also gives you agility, which means he gets even more damage from Blood Rage, and at this point, he's got enough damage that really he just needs to worry about mobility now. Since he has 4 levels of Blood Rage, he's got Butterfly, he's got a Bash, he's got a crit. Now he needs to just make sure that he's always after them and that they're slowed down a bit. So I think Sanjin Yasha is an okay pickup here. It really should be probably a BKB, but luckily for him, the Sniper went an entirely mobility item. I think this is a mistake. It's cool in theory because it can potentially slow your opponents and you can chase them forever, but his damage is absolutely pathetic right now. This damage is really pathetic. His damage is almost entirely based on headshot, 40% chance to do 90 bonus damage, but his main hit is just so weak, it does nothing. Like, Sanjin Yasha is always cool in theory, but it almost never pays off in terms of damage output on a hero. It's just really not worth getting in almost all situations. If you want to get a Yasha on Sniper, it's not that bad. You can get a Mask of Madness, that's maybe a better choice just because the extra mobility is so good, but against these heroes, Mask of Madness is really not a good go-to, I don't think.
We all know a life.
He did Chronosphere for this. Just, you gotta be really careful, and Sanjin Yasha is not the right pickup here, because they basically don't have any solution to Bloodseeker. The only way they were going to be able to kill Bloodseeker is if they had a way to kill him in some of these early fights, and I just don't think they have it. They just don't have it anymore. They had some good early advantage around like the 15-20 minute mark because of Ravage and Iron Shells and Purifications and Assassinate and stuff, but I mean, Bloodseeker is literally able to just stomp this whole game now.
Roshan has fallen to the dark.
Shield. They could have sold this. Make sure you sell it. You can sell from right here. You can sell from right here to this shop. That was Aegis, and now he's DD plus more damage. He's hitting pretty hard. Critting for 1300 on creeps. That's good. He probably should have a BKB. Most people would want that, I assume. Now Basher is really good, by the way. Like, for moments like this, when you're four-shotting people, if you can just guarantee that they stop for a second and a half, Basher is really good. But early game, when you're not attacking very fast and your damage isn't very high, I really don't recommend spending your first 3,000 gold on Skull Basher. That's like a BKB. You could have bought a BKB for that. It would have given you more survivability. It would have given you semi-comparable damage. Obviously, you can't bash, but a Black King bar early on is generally a lot better than a Skull Basher would be. The only other big disadvantage of getting a BKB is that you can't Blood Rage yourself, I believe. I actually don't know if that works. This could be dead. Bloodseeker finally. Try and blow the kill once. Oh, here goes the sniper kill. Goodbye, sniper. Alright, that's good. Oh, wait. Oh, he died to Rupture, okay. He actually had to stand still. That was the only way he was going to survive. And it does hit all your creeps globally, apparently. So that's not good. Omnia trying to be cheeky. He actually just wasted his ultimate now. It's a big loss. He kind of needed to save that for a team fight. Like, it's like Ravage, basically. It actually is the same cooldown as Ravage, so since these guys use both their big cooldowns, they actually can't even really fight anymore. Can't hit his own illusion. Oh, this is... Oh, please. I think he finally realized he's killing himself. Maybe? Oh, no way. Oh my god, serious? This is why... Oh, he's gonna live, but... That guy really should have died there. I really wish he would have died there. Would have been the funniest. I was gonna make fun of him, but... Mistakes like that. He actually fought his own illusion from like 80% HP to like half HP.
Radiant's top tower has fallen.
Nice. He needs to go kill ancients or something. Oh, it's gonna pick up his poor man's shield again. And hopefully ancient. Oh, come on, you can do it, man. You're gonna be okay. You got this. You can get a little unlucky, but like, what's he selling? What's he gonna buy? Daedalus? Yeah. Yeah, Daedalus is the right choice. He's already had the Crystallis. He might as well go all the way.
Radiant's top tower is under
Four shot a
attack.
couple people or something. Oh, Dagon, no. See, the Aghanims build is possible on Pugna, but you kind of have to combo it with something good. Like, if your hero can't survive the right-click damage from your hero, then Life Drain is not going to be a go on Pugna. If you get like a Ghost Scepter, or if you get a Shiva's first, then it's really good. But against this many stuns, it's really not a good choice. Aghanims is honestly not a very good Pugna item. He should have bought mech first. Instead of the CM building mech very slowly, if Pugna just finishes the mech really first, the hero leverages a lot. He's got huge int gain. I think the highest in the game. He's got 4 int per level. So Pugna can really guarantee that he has the mana to be able to use Mechanism. So mech is usually the best way to go on Pugna. Don't go Aghanims. Dagon can kind of work as well, but it's a very cheesy build and it peaks off really hard. You basically cast Decrepify on somebody and then you Dagon them, and it does a lot of damage, and it's cool, but it really, as soon as they get BKBs, then you're like, oh, I just spent 3,000 gold on this item that actually doesn't work in team fights anymore, and my other skills don't work in team fights either, so now I'm like really screwed. Like really messes you up. Let's see who dies first. You should kill Omni Knight first. And then top his ulti. They can kill Bloodseeker right here. Really good. They're actually gonna get him. Wow, that ulti's so good. Wow. That was his godlike spree. And Void should be able to kill. Ooh, this is good. Oh wow. Okay. So good turnaround from the other heroes. They cleaned this up, but Bloodseeker died. Who did he go to? Sniper. Ooh, that's the worst possible hero for them to get. It looks like Sniper's going a Sanjin Skadi build, which is really redundant. Both of those items basically do the same thing. They give you a bunch of mediocre stats, and then they give you a slow against your opponent. So what he probably needed to buy was a Monkey King bar immediately after the Sanjin Yasha. If you went like Demon Edge into Sanjin Yasha, I would be happy, or like Yasha into Demon Edge into Sanjin Yasha, I'd be kind of happy maybe. But like, his build is so mediocre. It's so mediocre. The build is really weak, honestly. But Bloodseeker finally died. Like I said, Guardian Angel really counters the physical damage output of their team. That's pretty much all they have is Bloodseeker with physical damage and Faceless Void. And if he wants to counter Guardian Angel, what he should do is get a Diffusal Blade. He could actually do this. It's not a big deal. because he doesn't have an orb yet, and what it allows him to do is you can use the active Purge ability to remove buffs. So if it's one of the best counters against Omni Knight, you can remove Repel, you can remove Guardian Angel. So when you're trying to kill somebody, what he should do is walk into the middle of the fight, he should go on Omni Knight, and if Omni Knight ulties, he should use Diffusal Blade on Omni Knight. It'll remove Guardian Angel, and then he right-clicks him 4 times and this guy dies, and that's the end of it. Another thing the Radiant team can do to counter this Bloodseeker actually is get a Blade Mail. So whoever Bloodseeker goes after, pop Blade Mail, and then you reflect 14, let's say it's on Alchemist for example. If he reflects 1400 pure damage, which the damage you take is how much damage you reflect. So if he has 1400 HP, he can reflect a total of 1400 damage. If he reflects his damage with Blade Mail, Bloodseeker has quite a bit of HP, but it's more HP than Alchemist would be able to do by right-clicking, so when you get really desperate, using things like Blade Mail can actually be pretty good against Bloodseeker. So that's an option as well. I have a feeling Bloodseeker gets really wrecked by Invoker as well. Not very good against Invoker, I'm sure. It's probably pretty good against Tinker, I would say. Not sure against Tinker 1v1 though. Probably not the best Tinker against Tinker 1v1. CM's gonna die again, it looks. Always surge your ally. It's always better to surge the guy that does damage than yourself. Late game Darkseer, like, you don't want to surge yourself. This looks like a dead hero. What? Oh. Can he beat his own illusion? His illusion actually does really good damage. It does like 80% of Bloodseeker's damage, and it can also crit, and it is evasion. He just doesn't want to deal with it.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Void killed somebody.
Radiant's top tower is under
hits.
attack.
Is he
Radiant
dying to his own
structures
illusion?
are fortified.
Oh, that's hilarious. This illusion actually hits really hard. Alright, next item he should buy.
Radiant's
He
top
should get an
tower
Abyssal
has
Blade,
fallen.
and I think he should get a AC maybe?
Dominating.
Oh, looks like they're losing. What else? He could get
Radiant's
AC,
top
he
tower
could
is
get...
under attack.
Oh, he should get an MKB, yeah. He should definitely get an MKB, just in case any of these guys get evasion, and so he can kill his own illusion.
Radiant's top tower has fallen. Radiant's
BKB is
top
definitely very
barracks
good.
are under attack.
I mean, it's way past the point where he needs
Radiant's top
BKB. Usually you get
barracks has
BKB
fallen.
because those first couple fights you get kind of just chain stun and you...
Radiant's
There's a
top
line or
barracks
something, if you're
has
not
fallen.
right-clicking during those first couple seconds, it's really bad. So, double Ravage. This guy's gonna die to... Yep, he's gonna die. Oh wow. Really got him. That Nether Ward did some good work, actually.
Should have eaten more spinach.
Regeneration.
What a shit talk from a dead person. Yeah, it is Scotty. He did such a bad build. He's got so many stats, but it's not worth it because he does no damage. I did one game once where I went like Scotty with Mjolnir. That was pretty good because that's like a damage item with a slow. That was kind of fun. Those orbs actually stacked decently. But Sanjin Yasha into a Scotty means you hit for crap. Yeah, sure, people can't move very fast, and it's probably really good against Crystal Maidens and stuff, but okay, he needs an MKB so bad. If this guy gets an MKB right now, he can actually win this game, because then he'd be able to actually hit Bloodseeker and keep him a lot slower. That's one decent counter against him, I guess, is slowing the hell out of him, but for now, at least his Bloodseeker's doing really well. His right click is pretty solid. Void going perfect item build. This is actually completely ideal. Mjolnir's really popular right now. It's more popular than Battle Fury is. Mask of Madness is really good for killing people during Chronosphere, and Daedalus as well. Just helps get you lucky and give you burst damage. You can crit for like 2.4 times the damage. BKB guarantees that you don't get ravaged and stuff, but his BKB is really low duration. Pugna is going all in on the Dagons, Dagon 4. So he should do, the way he should play this is Decrep, Blast, Dagon with an ulti, and that should actually do like 1,000 magic damage or something, so he may be the main damage dealer during team fights when Guardian Angel goes off, but I don't know if we've really seen that much yet. Clink's going Daedalus is also a good build. Like, there's actually decent item builds coming out of these guys. They're just really not farming efficiently most of the time, and they're not making very many good team fight decisions, basically. And that's pretty much the main issues coming out of this game, so... I mean, if you guys are watching this and you're also 2K MMR, it's similar issues, like, just time efficiency is a lot of it. There's a lot of inefficient use of time going on from a lot of these players. CM should also not buy a Void Stone. I think this is a mistake. I don't know if he's trying to build a Sheep Stick or something, but he should have a Ghost Scepter or a Yule's, most likely. Probably a Force Staff though. Force Staff is very, very good, especially against like Darkseer, and Sniper, and Alchemist. If you Force Staff yourself out of danger when you're in a bad spot, it's gonna keep you a lot more survivable. Void Stone is just a waste. If you are building a Sheep Stick as a CM, you should generally buy these expensive components first, because there's a really high chance that you'll just pick up this Void Stone. Alright, he is going to go for a Yule Scepter, I think. But there's a really high chance that he'll just never finish the item. So if I was buying a Yule's even, I would probably buy a Staff of Wizardry first, because I like the hard stats. She doesn't need mana regen very much, because she has Arcane Aura already, with 4 points into Arcane Aura. So like, you really don't need another mana regen item. It's a bit of a waste here. She'd be better off having a bigger int pool, because even casting Freezing Field still is very expensive. Is he Missile Blade? Good choice. There's so many prisons. Actually, they have 3 Daedalus on their team. That's really scary. Best way to counter that is actually get evasion on some of these dudes. Or, you know, you could just cast Guardian Angel on everybody on your team for 10 seconds. Yeah, that's good. I wish Alchemist was going MKB instead of Basher. I think that's a mistake. I think Vads is also a bit of an issue. He should have gone AC maybe. AC, MKB. They really need True Strike to counter the Bloodseeker. It's really important. I guess Headshot also counters True Strike a little bit. Or it is True Strike. Every time you proc Headshot, you actually hit guaranteed. So Sniper is not the worst against this.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
But that's slow, dude. See the Ravage. Good Ravage. Alright, they can kill them. This is really good. Alright, that looks like it. Okay. Maybe. Guardian Angel is really good. They gotta kill Bloodseeker. Yeah, that's fine. Sniper shoot him. Oh wow. That's why you get BKB, guys. It's actually why you buy Black King Bar. So they basically, alright. This is what won him the game. It was double Ravage and Guardian Angel with the Aghanim Scepter upgrade. He actually used it at a good time. The double Ravage was good. The Dire team pretty much just ate it. And can they buy back? You can buy back. You cannot buy back. No buyback. No buyback. You can buy back.
Dire's middle tower is under attack. Dire's middle tower has fallen. Dire's structures are fortified. Dire's middle tower.
They don't have to lose here. He's got Chronosphere in 10.
Like the sun, I
He
rise again.
needs to jump on that. He definitely shouldn't be KB just to kill creeps, that's for sure. I would have jumped in, Chronosphere maybe on me, like right now.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
I used to go after the Void. Oh, holy crap, he does a lot of damage. Okay, so they're good. They just like can't lose another big fight like that. It's really important, and they have to keep buyback up on their carries. Like Bloodseeker and stuff should keep it up. Oh, there's a hero. That should be a dead hero. Once his madness is up again in 8 seconds. He might give up on this, I think, because he's probably afraid, but I think he should chase this. Alright, especially when the hero runs back into you. It's usually a good time to go for it. That's a dead sniper, so... Like, double Ravage is really hard to deal with. I mean, if you do stun your enemy team, it does 900 magic damage, actually. That's really good on 3 heroes. That's really good. And then, like, they have really good team fight on the Radiant team, actually. Vacuum Wall, double Ravage with Guardian Angel, which completely counters everything that they have. And yeah, throwing is pretty bad. It's pretty common at this level. Sniper's gonna be okay, though. This guy needs an MKB really bad. The slows are actually really useful against the Bloodseeker, I noticed. Like, if you proc Sanjin Yasha, which is a 32% slow, and it slows attack, actually, pretty good. If you proc Sanjin Yasha and you hit him with Scotty, you're slowing by like 70% movement and attack speed. That's quite a bit. Alright, Acid Spray, good. Alright, you don't need to run in that far when your team isn't there. That was really bad.
You become
Generally don't run. Okay, she's gonna die to illusions. In fact, they might all die to illusions. Okay, they're actually dying to illusions. Oh my god. Oh my god, the illusions, dude. Oh my god. The illusions, watch this. Oh, the crits. The crits. They are losing this game because they bought Daedaluses, basically, is what happens. These illusions are hitting for 90%. They're actually hitting almost as hard as the main heroes are, and they're critting. This hits for 129 and it crits for 2.5. So it's actually hitting for like 300 physical damage, and all of these heroes died to the illusions because they didn't deal with them. And now Sniper's maybe gonna get this kill. Okay, he ended up dying though. They actually just all died to illusions. They're actually pretty good illusions. Pugna has really high base damage. There's a CM that doesn't do very much. But the Bloodseeker, there wasn't a Bloodseeker illusion, but there was a Void one. And there was a Clinks one. All with Daedalus.
Bottom barracks are under attack.
2 Daedalus illusions and 2 ranged high damage illusions. And now this Darkseer's just Raxing, I guess. I'll just gonna Rax too.
Dire's bottom barracks has fallen.
Okay. I guess is Bloodseeker gonna lose this game, guys? He's like, oh god, I really need a BKB, and now it's too late. Ravage is so easy to dodge, you know. Like if you're BKB'd, Ravage is gone. So what Bloodseeker should be doing is he should pop BKB, and then he should just kill Tidehunter twice. Kill him before he Ravages twice. Force the Ravages up. If he just pops BKB and he ruptures Tidehunter and right clicks him, he dies. That's it. Fight's over. Unless Omni Knight Guardian Angels it. So they actually do have counters. They actually do have good hero counters to what their dire team had, but Omni Knight legit hero, guys. But yeah, you gotta kill that Tidehunter before he Ravages. Faces Void could also deal with it. He could like jump, Chronosphere the Tide, and kill him. And if that happens, then they would definitely win no matter what. It's like the only stuns that the Radiant team has. So either the Bloodseeker needs to kill the Tide, or the Faces Void needs to kill the Tide, or the Omni Knight, one or the other. They basically have 2 keys to winning team fights. They got him. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention this at the start of the video, but sorry I haven't posted videos in the last couple days. If you guys haven't heard the announcement yet, Merlini is joining Team Zephyr. I'm going to manage the team, and Merlini is going to be playing in my stead for Season 3. I probably won't play again on Zephyr in Korea, unless somebody needs a vacation or something. So that's why I haven't posted videos in a couple days, so I apologize about that. But I should be able to wake up in the morning and post a video every day now, and I'm going to try to stick to that schedule if possible. But part of the reason that I wasn't able to make videos is because we haven't had time to find to purchase Ben a computer yet. So whenever they practice at night, he uses my computer. It's been kind of killing my free time a little bit in terms of content production, at least. So that's why. That's my excuse. Ooh, that was almost good. See if you can get a BKB. Almost MKB on Clinks. That's good. Hungry gets a blink. Man, I can't believe all those illusions killed him. Oh, God, Sniper, no. Sniper, HP is not the solution to your problems. You need damage, man. I hope there's at least a Satanic, not a heart. That's slightly better, you get 20 damage from it, but like, Sniper. This guy has no idea how to build his hero. He's probably like, dude, I die all the time, so I need HP. And then he has some success not dying, so he's like, nice dude, HP is the solution. What he really needs is just be able to 4-shot people. And he's already got so much HP from Scotty. If you really want HP on Sniper, Scotty is the way to go. Scotty or Manta, but like, and he's got a Sanjay and Yasha, for God's sake. Like, both of these items give him a lot of survivability. A lot more than he needs. So,
Radiant's middle tower has
look at that damage, it's so bad. Just so bad. In the meantime, they're all right-clicking. Dead Bloodseeker. I really didn't think that Bloodseeker was going to get stopped, guys, but Darkseer did a double wall, by the way. We're going to see some Bloodseeker rage. Did they lose this game? Well, Face's Void completely whiffed. He jumped in and died without Chronosphering. That's pretty bad. Tide got the double Ravage off. They got a double wall. These guys need a BKB. There's the BKB. Can't buy back because he bought his Mithril Hammer. Void can buy back. Clinks cannot buy back. That's pretty much it. They really shouldn't have lost this game though. Bloodseeker had such a good start. If he just would have bought a BKB during those mid-game fights, he never would have lost. And again, he shouldn't jump in this early. He jumped in way too early. You can't just jump in and hit a carry like that, especially on Alchemist. That guy doesn't die very easily. He should have gone on Omnia or something. Like, both teams had it within their power to control who wins the game, the game, but like the early game was all like farm inefficiencies, but late game they just really bad team fights. Both the Radiant team executed their team fights way better, and they had better heroes to execute their team fights with the double Ravage Void, or the double Ravage on Tidehunter, but the Dire team easily could have won this if Face's Void was able to Chronosphere properly. He needed to kill either the Omnia or the Tidehunter before they used their ultimates.
I owe you one.
Either one of those, and then Bloodseeker can easily clean up. Like, they actually don't have good damage. So as long as the Tidehunter didn't guarantee that the Radiant team could attack the entire enemy team for like 8 seconds unimpeded, then they could have won this. And Clinks could have just Orchided the Omni Knight, for God's sake. Like, if Clinks would have Orchided the Omni Knight and they would have Chronosphered the Tidehunter and killed him before he Ravaged, game was over. Every single fight. Every single fight. But they never did any of those two things because they couldn't recognize what they needed to do. And that's why they had no chance of winning that game. So kind of painful to watch, but some funny moments. The Darkseer wall was pretty good. What a funny game to lose. And that's yeah. Like, Bloodseeker didn't play it that bad. His item builds were fairly okay. He kind of played it correctly, but he really needed to get a BKB, and he needed to recognize what the threats were. And once you get better at that, you're going to win more games, and it's really important to try to organize your team to do that as well. Like, make sure you know what the issues are, what counters what you're doing, and what countered it was the Chronosphere, or the double Ravage and the Omni Knight ulti. That was pretty much it. Alchemist was really not that much of a threat. There was really not that much of a threat there. So that's it for the game, guys. Thanks for watching. I'll switch to my other overlay. Yeah, if you want to check out our sponsors, obviously Nixus and Twitch, really helpful for us. If you want to buy the earbuds, you can. Nixus also sells keyboards, and they just came out with one. I haven't tried it yet, but I'm going to try it out soon. And I used one of their monitors, and I love it. Other than that, make sure to stay tuned for our matches. Today's the 5th here. Tomorrow is our match day in Seoul, so it's basically 24 hours from me posting this video is when we'll be playing a match. And we'll play 2 matches tomorrow. We're playing against MVP Phoenix, the team that went to TI qualifiers, or went to TI, and they lost in the wildcard round. And we're playing against Rave, which is probably the second. It's like Phoenix and Rave might be the best teams in Tier 1 right now. Maybe we'll be the best team, I'm not sure yet, but Rave and Phoenix are both very talented. It'll be hard games tomorrow, but they're best of ones. They're coming up tomorrow on the KDL English stream, or the Korean one if you want to watch that. So thanks for tuning in, guys, and see you guys tomorrow with another video. Alright, bye.